What's up, people? So this is part two of don't make a mistake with your Blazons with cultivation. So this is just going to be some additional information of how it works if you have a shit ton of Blazons. Specifically, the people that got the original Dragons battle. If you have a shit ton of Blazons, um, what you want to do with your excess Blazons, or anyone that has sets of red Blazons, just cultivate what you got. If only if it's a level 20. So like what I did was I brought all my Blazons that had 3 good stats. By the time I hit 15, I took them all to 20. Because if they're at 15, you don't want to cultivate. That's another thing. If they're at 15, they're lower percentages, you don't want to cultivate. But so at 20, they're the highest percentage they can be. So if you cultivate those are going to be the cultivation limits. It doesn't matter what the statistics are. The cultivation's limits are at 20. So you only want to cultivate if you're at 20. Let's look at the one that I did to. Okay, this one, I cultivated 2 of these statistics to max. I had 2 of them to max, and I didn't want to have those stats on ground troop, so I used the inherit feature, which is right here. I use them and I swap to a siege machine attack. So these stats, I don't have to exit I can click on Blazons anywhere, but so these stats were on the ground troop hit point, which are right. No, hold on a second. Is that right? Or no. I put them on a range troop attack. So I had this one, 4 decent range troops. It puts larger percentage on the second 2. So this is a pretty good Blazon to put it on, but it's level 20, right? So these 2 are max. I don't know why it doesn't have the lock. Oh, it's 0.1% off for being maxed. So you can lock it once it's maxed if you want to, but this here is not what you want to do. What you want to do is, as soon as one of these, like if you have a ton of Blazons, nothing's cultivated. People probably going to focus on attack first, right? Because you're an attacking set of Blazons you want to work on first. So you cultivate one of your attacks, Blazons, on your range troop. It's probably what most people are going to do until one of these 2 attributes reaches max. Then you stop. Then you go to, if it's your range troops, you do the ring or the weapon first until one of these touches the max or is close to it. Then you go on to the second Blazon, cultivate that till one of these 2 bottom ones are max. Then stop, because it doesn't cost any more as you get higher up. What happens when you get higher up is the percentages that you get at a time change. But you want to cultivate all your stuff. You don't want to waste cultivations because the number of failures increases too towards the end. It's not by a lot, but it was noticeable. The number of failures increases as you get past like this level. If any of them get past like 75%, the number of failures increases. I don't know the exact numbers, but you will notice it once any of these, it's going to be one of these 2. Once any of these reaches the 75% mark, you'll notice an increase in failures. So you can either cultivate, it takes a ton of Blazons. I was off by an order of magnitude. 1 Blazon gives you 1 of these crystals. It doesn't give you 10. But some people got so many Blazons during the Dragons battle, it's not going to matter. Because you got 30 stacks of 400 Blazons. Or whatever you got. 50 stacks of 400 Blazons. You can see in Genghis's video, he hadn't used his yet. See, I hadn't worked on my Blazons and gotten everything to level 15 or 20, so I used all those Blazons during the Dragon battle to get everything 15 to 20. And then I tried to get some more to level 20 to then cultivate those. That's what the first video was about. I got this to level 20, but you don't want to do that. If you have anything at level 20 so far, so like everything in here, if it had 3 marching, I took it to 20 prior to. So like those are the ones you want to do. Only the ones you took to 20, and then cultivate those because the cultivation numbers are bigger than a level 15. So that's what I would do. I would cultivate everything that I had taken to 20 in the past. Or, you know, if you have some that you left at 15 that are like 3 marching, I would take those to 20 and then cultivate. And then cultivate. So you want to cultivate when they're at 20 only. And the reason why you want to take them to 20 is because if you happen to get a 4th stat later on, like if this is marching, because when I go to reinforce, I swap to my defensive Blazons, and then I reinforce and I swap back to my attack. But if I fully cultivated this later on or if I cultivated a lot later on when I got a 4th attribute that was marching, it would give me those better percentages. Now with the ratio of marching, someone might think like, hey, if I got one that's 4 rallying or 4 reinforcing, if I got one that's 4 rallying and 4 reinforcing, I could always only cultivate that one, and then I could use that one and inherit to get higher stats than I should get. I use that one and inherit to get the higher stats than I should get, right? In the inherit thing. But if you read this, it says the percentage ratios. So that's what you're going to get. You're only going to get the ratio of the percentage. If both Blazons have been cultivated, their attribute enhancement ratios will be swapped. So if you have a level 20, it only goes up to 20% in one, but you have a rally one that goes up to 25% in another, it doesn't matter. Whatever percentage you got of that 20 or that 25%, if you fully cultivate a rallying or reinforcing because it's full stats, and then you use that to inherit to another one that's just for marching with lower stats, it's only going to give you the ratio of where you're at. If you're at a total cultivation of, 15% of the bar, it's only going to give you 15% of the bar. It is not going to give you the higher rallying or reinforcing or on monsters numbers. It's not going to put that on the other Blazon. Is how this reads. I didn't actually test it. If it does that, well, then I'd be wrong, right? But it would be messed up if it did that. Then someone would only need to have one of those higher ratio perfect Blazons, whether it's monster killing or rallying or reinforcing, or I think those are the highest, right? I don't know which one exactly is the exact highest. But yeah, that's it. Cultivate all your stuff. You probably want to, depending on how many Blazons you got, cultivate all your attacks on all 4 of your troops, and then do what's hard to debuff, like range troop hit points, mounted troop defense or hit points. Do that, like, maybe do that afterwards. I mean, people are probably going to focus on Siege Machine if they're, an old player on an old continent. And then most people, mid, old, new, range troop is always a killer. There's alliances out there soloing fucking 20 billion keeps with one range troop rally. So yeah, just really think about what the cultivation does, and then the order that you should do your cultivation in. So thinking about all that stuff will help you do it in a way that's beneficial to you. It wasn't beneficial for me to level up a new one of these to level 20. You're just gonna waste a ton of Blazons if you do that. I had one that was 2 marching and then 1 regular siege machine attack, and then the 4th attribute was useless. So I did get a usable, a better Blazon, but I could have cultivated one of my other attacking Blazons and gotten more stats than I did taking that from zero to 20. I could have cultivated any of them, right? So like these two, yeah, I could have cultivated that one. That one has 3 marching. This one has 3 marching. They both have 3 marching and 1 reinforcing. It's interesting. Um, yeah, so that's it. That's it for everything about the new Blazon feature between that first video and this one. So I hope that helps you out. If it did help you out, please I don't ask often, but leave a like, leave a comment if you want. I'd appreciate that. Thanks so much.